Fresh family, welcome to another great awesome fresh video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe for more videos. Today I am not alone. I am joined by my special friend that is gonna introduce herself in a second. Hello Tambi, how are you? You look awesome, by the way. You look great. I haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time. I think the last time I saw you still had a little bit of hair. Your hair wasn't that short. But anyway, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Do you want to tell us a bit of your background, who you are, what you do, and what you're about?
Okay. So every time I introduce myself, I don't tell them where I work.
Okay.
I just say I'm an investor because I want to identify myself as an investor. So my name is Tambi Vilankulu. I'm from Liverpool, but I can say I'm a Joburg girl because, I think I stayed most of my life in Joburg.
Mm-hmm.
I recently moved back from Cape Town.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm in Joburg. What I do is I'm a set basis consultant at Pick and Pay. But like I said, I like talking about investments and money. So I think I'm an investor. Yeah.
You actually just told us what you do. I thought you weren't really gonna tell us what you do. But thank you so much, Tammy, for joining me. It's so awesome. I remember actually when I thought about investing and I thought about money and saving and everything that has to do with finances exactly. You're the one person that I know for the longest time that has always been about this life of investing and savings and money, growing your wealth. See, you are the person that literally I know for the longest time that has been doing this. And I actually remember when I was still trying to get to know what cryptocurrency is about, what Bitcoin is about, you knew everything about Bitcoin at that time. And we actually went to Mr. Bitcoin book launch in Vene Waterfront. Port Jakarta's book launch. I was with you. You actually took me there. At that time, I was still I didn't even know what Bitcoin is about exactly, but you knew everything. So that's why when I thought investing, I thought, Timby, Timby is the one for this. So thank you so much, Timby, for joining me. Do you want to say something?
Thank you for having me.
Great, awesome. Yeah, I couldn't think of anyone that best fitted this talk or this discussion that I'm having now other than you. So yeah. I want to know where we're talking finances, by the way. I had a video last week. I did a book review. Of another book that I'm currently reading. And I thought, okay, let me just, have a part two of that same breadth of discussion, which is finances and being able to manage finances and managing money. So we are talking finances, and I want to know from you as this person, like I already said that you, the person that I know has been in this thing for a very long time, as this person that you are, that is full on finances, investing, saving, and all about money, where or how did you go about learning about money, about investing, about saving, about growing wealth? Where or how did you learn about that? Because me, when I'm talking for myself, I didn't do accounting at school. I didn't do anything that's related to money things. So I learned to know about money as I grow older and wiser. So I never really had such exposure about finances and money and how to manage money, because a lot of people, they have money but they don't know how to manage it. So that's why you find out that someone had a lot of money over the years, and then snini, the money is gone, and you like wonder what happened to the money. It's because the person didn't have the skills on how to manage money. So how did you know where did you learn? How did you learn how to manage money?
What can I say? Okay, so first thing first, I think it's very important to find yourself surrounded with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So with everything, in every area of your life. So if you want to know more about finance, you have to find people who are like who take care of their finances very well. So when I started working in 2016, I joined an amazing group at my workplace. I said they're amazing because they made me gain interest in like wanting to take care of my finances. I think I can't say my finances were a mess, but I didn't really know much about finances then. But when I joined the sub basis team at Pick and Pay, I remember the first thing that my boss told me when we had the first session with him. He was like, "Do you have savings? Do you have investments? Do you have a will?" And I was like, okay, wow, why are you starting with all these topics that I don't even know? And that made me look at life in a different way, because I mean, I just started working and he was already asking me all these questions. So after that, I made a decision that I'm going to learn about these things. And thank God we have the internet, and I think I learned fast because when I just put an interest in something, I get so excited that I want to know about it, and then I get to learn that. So after that conversation, I went home and then started reading about wheels, and it was so daunting because I mean, why would you want to read about a wheel? And when people think about wheels, they think of dying. So
Exactly.
I started reading about it, and I started reading about savings and investing. Um, and then I came back to him, and he was like, okay, so now I want you to have a structure, like have a financial structure, because that's how you are gonna make it in life. If you don't have any financial structure, you're gonna waste your money, because you don't know what you want to do with your money. You don't know where your money is going, so you have to have a plan. So I went, I went to rough sketch some plan, and it was so fuzzy because I also didn't understand what I was doing. And I came back to him with this plan, and then he asked me like, what are your goals and stuff. And after I explained that, I found myself like coming up with like sort of like a financial plan for myself. And I was like, wow, it really helps to sort of like set your goals, talk about your goals, write them down actually,
Yeah.
because it's like that was a roadmap for me to see. To It actually showed me like what I needed to do for my finances to be to be to be in shape
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, I can say I taught myself all these things,
Yeah.
but then with the support system of my boss and my colleagues. And yeah, you mentioned something about Bitcoin. When I arrived at work, everybody was talking about Bitcoin. So that's how I knew, like at my office when we take lunch, like everybody would talk about finances. And another thing, I'm sure I did tell you about the age gap between me and my colleagues. The youngest colleague
Yeah.
is like 43. So that's like
And you're like the only female, right?
yes, and I'm the only female. I'm the only youngest. Well, I can say youngest because I mean there's too much of an age gap there,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why those people talk about planning your life. And I think finding myself in that area has helped push this agency, because I didn't want to learn anything about financial education. I did want that kind of life, how you want to look
Yeah.
clever and you want to sound clever
Ultimately.
in front of people. Yeah, but I wasn't like so interested in a way that I want to get my finances together. I just wanted to be able to have a conversation with someone, and that was it. But then when I arrived in that team, everybody there is older, they have families, and obviously they have responsibilities,
Yeah.
so they already know how to take care of money.
Yeah.
And they were able to push me without actually doing it in a way of like, okay, you have to do this and that, but watching their life, when they give me and advice, and it was like a sound financial advice. They'll talk about, you're still young, you need to invest, and everyone would be like, invest, buy a property, buy an investment product. Don't just waste your money. So it was that, and they would say, get a get an insurance. And I would be like, which like, really? I mean, the only insurance you think it's a car insurance and a phone
Yeah, and
insurance.
if you have a
But
car.
then when you start learning more about finances, that's when you realize that, yeah, you need to insure everything. So yeah, I guess I taught myself because I found myself surrounded by people who were already in that area. So
I
yeah.
must say you were blessed because you had some sort of mentorship. You had mentors around you, and it's people that you saw every day, almost every day, because I mean, you are working with these people. The people that you work with are
Yeah.
the people that you are with most of your time. So you were truly blessed to be amongst those people, that were guiding you, like coming up with, telling you that you must come up with your dreams, write them down. I mean, other people don't have that, they are not that fortunate. So I must say, you're very blessed, and we now get to learn from you. Imagine. So that's how much it's great to give to other people because those people give to other people as well. And that's how everyone gets to learn. So that's great. So, with you personally, what do you think is the best thing? Do you think saving is the best way to go about growing your wealth? Saving or investing? Which one do you think is the best when you're trying to grow your wealth?
What can I say? Saving won't grow your wealth. Your wealth, it won't. Anyways, yeah, let's just laugh about it because I know a lot of people talk about, I save, so I think I'm good. But saving means, persevering, preserving your money for future use. So you're just putting it away so that you can use it to buy something. So your money won't grow. I mean, like when you look at the repo rate cuts that recently happened, our interest rates now, when you look at the bank interest rates, do you think 2.2% can grow your wealth in FNB? You see, so saving won't grow your wealth. If you wanna save for a big purchase, then yes, save your money. But if you wanna grow your wealth, if you wanna build wealth, you'll have to buy an investment product. You'll have to buy an asset. What an asset is, it's a product that you buy that has a potential to give you a return in the future. So you buy it, it's an investment. You invest in it, and in the future you are hoping to get something. So that's how people grow wealth. That's why wealthy people, they buy investments. They don't just save their money in the bank. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
I mentioned saving because that's the term that a lot of people are familiar with. When you start working, people are like, you must save money, save, so don't spend everything. But no one actually mentions investing. And saving, like you said, is just basically putting money away. It's not going to grow your money. So if you want to put your money
Yeah.
away, preserve it, then you can save. But if you want to grow something, if you want to grow your wealth, you can't think about saving. And that has been a topic or conversation that no one really brought up as we're growing, that no, don't really, if you want to grow your wealth, rather look at investing. So that's why I'm bringing up
Yes.
saving, because it's a term that a lot of people are familiar with. We are not familiar about investing. Other people don't even know how to go about investing. But with saving, everyone can tell you how you can save. It's that common, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing that up. So you say investing is the right way to go if you want to grow your wealth, right?
It's the only way.
The only
It's not the right.
way.
It's the only
It's the
way.
only way,
Yeah.
basically. So when is the right time? When is the right time to start investing?
Immediately.
Yeah.
I think the right time to start immediately to start investing is immediately. When you think about it, you have to do it. Obviously, you need to sort of like have a plan of on your investment journey. Like I have an investment strategy. The basics are, when you want to invest, you can't just invest the money that you're gonna need tomorrow. Rather save that money. For example, you don't want to invest the money that you're gonna need to buy, not even groceries, because groceries is something that you need in it every day, But things like, if you want to buy a car, you can't invest that money. If you want to buy a house, you can't invest that money. You have to look at your time horizon. There's a term that says investment doesn't take a lot of money, but it takes time. That's when you want to grow your wealth, you have to um, you have to spend time in the market, meaning that you need to think long term. You need to think 10 to 15 years. That's when you're gonna see the returns. So you can't be using the money that you're gonna need in 3 years time, to invest in, because that's gonna interrupt your compound interest. And Charlie Munger says the first rule of compounding is never to interrupt it unnecessarily. You have to let it grow. If you interrupt the process, you are stopping its growth. So what you have to understand, I think you need to have a plan, and the plan need to include whether you have an emergency fund, so that you don't withdraw the money you are investing. So you must make sure that you have a financial cushion, which is your emergency fund, and then obviously have your budget. You must be living within your means or below, if you are gonna have like spare money to invest.
Yeah.
So you have to budget and know your expenses. How much do you spend in a month? It's very important. Or even a year. You have to know that you have to understand your in order to understand your overall financial life, you need to understand how much you are spending, because then what's the point? Like, if you can't track your expenses, like you don't know how much you spend in this and that, you're probably wasting most of your money just spending it on unnecessarily stuff. So you need to have that. And also, I think I did mention insurance. People, when they think about insurance, they think they're giving away money. Insurance is for uncertainties. So that there are some things that you are not sure about. You
Yeah.
have to insure, like, for example, your house, your car, and also your life. And also, uh, why I say your life, because you are your biggest asset. So you have to make sure you are protected.
I
If
like that.
something happens, like most people invest the money that they work for, right? So you go to work and then you set aside your paycheck for investments, right? So if something happened to you and you can't work anymore, like, it means that process stop. But if you have an insurance, and for example, during the lockdown has made a lot of people lose their jobs and stuff, right? And some people were not able to actually carry on or look for other jobs, because they were no longer, like, they just thought their life were over, because first of all, they didn't have emergency funds. They didn't have like insurance of, like, if I couldn't work anymore because of retrenchment, what can I, like, the insurance could have covered that, so before you can think of investing, I think you need to think of basics of your, like, to make sure that your financial house is actually taken care of. Your expenses, just in case you lose a job, that, okay, if I have a savings of like 50K, how many months can I survive, without my lifestyle changing at all? So that's why the emergency fund is the most important. And I can make an example. I just sold my car, right? And I really wanted to get rid of the car. And because it was financed, I hadn't reached that, what do they call, where the retail price of the car and the, sure, these car terms are just they're just
Can't
running
help
away.
you.
Anyway, so so for me to be able to sell it without paying a shortfall, the amount that I owe to the bank needs to be basically So, but I still owed a lot, which means when I sold the car, I still have a
You still
shortfall to
had to,
cover. But
yeah.
because I had an emergency fund, to me it was like my only challenge is I can't find a buyer. You see, it wasn't like, oh my God, where am I going to get the money to cover the shortfall? My
Because you
only problem was
had,
like I
yeah,
need a buyer in as in yesterday. You see, and now that lift off, other stresses. You are only
yeah,
stressed about what you want to do at the moment, not like I'm stressed about I don't have finances for this. So your emergency fund is very important. So I think, yeah, get those four things done. Know your expenses, track your expenses, have a budget. Don't just throw your money, don't just let your money wander around. You need to tell it where to go. And yeah, have your emergency fund. At least 6 months worth of emergency fund can help. And the thing is with emergency fund, because it's emergencies, emergencies are everywhere. Murphy is always coming to visit, especially when you don't have an emergency fund. Murphy's law says anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So you
exactly.
just have to understand that, in life, you there are things that you can control and there are things that you cannot control, so you need to understand that. So that's why you have, and then your insurance also, because since there are things that you cannot control, you need insurance
Mm.
because you are your biggest asset. And then you can invest, you know yeah. And you can invest while you are doing all this, for like you
Yeah.
can start investing while you are still building up your emergency fund. You don't have to like wait until you're like, okay, I have 100K worth of emergency fund, now I can start investing. No, you can do it concurrently, like, but just make sure that you are uh, uh, doing all those stuff in case you have an emergency, so that you don't withdraw your investments, because a lot of people do that. They start investing, and 1 year down the line they're now withdrawing their investments just to cover
Yeah.
their emergencies. And I mean, how is your investments gonna grow in that? It's like you're starting over every time, you see. You're not adding to your investments, so you are not compounding your investments. You're starting over every time, which is like you might just rather just save your money. Don't put it in a market.
Yeah, I like the fact that you spoke of the emergency fund, because that's the whole thing about finances and being financial literate. Because you have to know what comes first, have to know how to go around your finances, because really, like you said, you can't start. Yes, you can invest while you're still growing your emergency funds and all the other things that your budgets, but you can't really put all of your money into investing but you don't have an emergency fund. You don't, the other areas are not covered. So it's a matter of being financially literate overall, knowing when to put investments, knowing that you have to grow your emergency fund as well in case anything happens. Like you mentioned, people lost their jobs in this lockdown. There are a lot of people that just their jobs were just obsolete all of a sudden. So if they didn't have emergency fund, you can already imagine how much stress those people were going through. But if you have all these things in place, you know how to, but you know the money that you have, you know your income. So if you are able to manage that you have, you are able to draw down a budget. From there you are able to at least grow your emergency fund so that when something happens you have money that's there all the time, and then you can invest. It's about just being financially literate. And for me, like I said, I didn't go to any I didn't even do a subject that is financially related. So how I learned, you also said that Google helped and internet actually helped for you. So those are the things that really we have to make use of, like your internet, books, the app. You can even just go online, you Google financial books or whatever. Like there are a lot of means that we can go about learning about something, about anything actually, if you want to learn about something. So for me, it has always been about reading books, reading certain books, looking up on the internet, reading the news. You can't really trust everything in the news, but yeah, but you basically just try to get all these things about what this thing that you want to learn about. So in this case, finances. So for me, it has always been just gathering information from everywhere. And actually, you just touched on every other question that I had. So because you just mentioned everything, if you how you want to start, you can start immediately. For the mere fact that you have an income, you can start. And it's to just be about you knowing how to manage it, knowing that you have to draw down a budget, and don't live above your means. You know your income. You can't go now and go Gucci shopping, go Louis Vuitton shopping, because you know your unless your income, is accommodative of such. But it's about you knowing your budget, your emergency fund. If something happens, you know that you have money that's there all the time. And then you can start investing, think about your future and shaping your future. So you already actually touched everything else that I wanted to ask you. So thank you so much. That's why you were never like a second guess. You were like the right person for this, because I mean, yeah, we are fully equipped. So thank you so much, Tambi. Maybe we'll talk some other time, because yeah, don't want us to talk a lot, because we can go on and on, especially in the line of finances, because we always learn.
Yeah.
We always learn every time, and there are a lot of things that we learn, and we can never really say that we are done talking about it, because it's a lifetime worth of learning. So thank you so much for joining me in this chat. Hopefully you'll have you some other time again. Maybe with this time we'll review our things and our maybe we'll go through all of
Yeah.
that. But for this one, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time to chat to us. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, all the best for the near future and your investments.
Thank you so much. Just one last thing. I just want to say, investing is very risky. So
Yeah.
that's why you need to have have a system have a way of managing, that risk. So it's better if you have all these things in place, like your emergency fund, because you don't want to, the market is very volatile. And then you feel like, oh my god, now I have to draw all my money. But if you have money to leave in, like, you can just leave that, and it always come back up.
Yeah.
The market goes up and down, but it goes up more than it goes down.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, the market is always going to go up. So yeah, that's all I have. And yeah, guys, happy investing is not it's not hard. You just need to dedicate yourself,
Yeah.
read books, and follow people who invest, and ask questions. There's actually a lot of especially South African websites that you can go to. My favorite one is just one lab. I think I learned everything that I know there. I love that community. They have the Fat Toilet Show, which is a podcast show, so you can check them out. And also, like Nicolette Mashile, her
Yeah.
books. I actually have a book here. I want this
Okay,
book.
I don't have
So
my book
I
here.
have a book. Anyways, so you can also check her out. She gives like sound financial advices, and they're South African based. I used to read American stuff until I discovered that South Africa has rich content, and
Yeah.
just go online. You'll see there's a lot of people who are very knowledgeable in this area, and you can follow them on Twitter. I actually follow this group called Financial Twitter. It's great. I mean, when I don't want to follow like all these other stories, I just go to that one and like, okay, it's all about finance here. So yeah, just engage with people. There's too much content out there. So yeah, happy
Yeah,
investing, and thank you
seriously.
for having
Like
me.
if you want to learn, you will find a lot of ways that you can get what you want to get. It's just a matter of you looking. If you look hard enough, you'll
Yeah.
find everything. And right now, you don't even have to look hard. You have the internet. Just go on the internet. You'll find everything that you want to find. So, yeah, thank you so much, Timby. We'll love you. We will invite you some other time in the near future. Do be in the lookout for us.
Yes, please. I need to talk about my investments. So you should invite me back. Anyways, bye.
Yeah, but we'll show invite you again some other time in the near future. Thank you so much, Tambi. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Alright, so I hope that marks the first of many more chats that we are going to have around finances. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. If you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. But otherwise, I'll catch you next week with another great video. Until then, bye.